When I was about 11, I started having seizures, and my mother obviously brought me to a doctor, and the doctor sent me to a neurologist who diagnosed that I had epilepsy because I had a number of seizures, but he traced it back to when I was a child, when I was a baby, and I had febrile convulsions. Now, they're quite common with children, and they stopped for me when I was 3 because I had my tonsils taken out, so I wasn't getting high temperatures anymore. But they had left a small scar in my brain, and that's why the seizure activity started up again when I had, when I hit puberty, really, when I was 11. It got to the point where I was having a seizure pretty much every month. So at that stage, I went to see another neurologist on the advice of a new GP, and he suggested that perhaps I might be a suitable candidate for surgery. But when I heard that there was surgery available that might potentially cure my epilepsy, I thought, yes, absolutely, let's go for it. Because if it means that I can be free of something that's just restricting my life a little bit, then that'll be fantastic. So I had absolutely no hesitancy at all in saying, yes, let's do the tests. In fact, I was actually afraid that they would do the tests and then say to me, no, sorry, you're not a suitable candidate. Well, people were afraid, but I could see no negative, because I thought, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life wondering if I'd had that surgery, I wonder would it have worked? Because it opened up a huge opportunity for me to be free of seizures, and I would be a fool not to take it. It was very different trying to adjust to life without epilepsy when I'd had it for so many years. The biggest difference for me was falling asleep on a bus, because I had had a seizure on a bus when I was 17, and I was terrified of falling asleep on a bus then in case I woke up in a hospital again. Knowing that I could fall asleep on a bus and wake up and go home without the fear of not waking up where I wanted to wake up, it was a huge relief for me. Also, as time went on and I was seizure-free, I could apply for my driving licence again. And having been a very independent person anyway, not being able to drive was a really, really big thing for me. I remember the day that I got my driving licence in the post, and I cried. I absolutely sobbed my heart out, and I thought, yes, I've got my driving licence back. I've got my freedom, I've got my independence. Nobody can stop me now. Well, my message would be that everybody in Ireland knows somebody with epilepsy. They might know they know, but they do. And that person is just an ordinary person walking around. None of us have "I have epilepsy" written across my forehead. We just get on with life. What's most important, I think, is not to panic. If you hear that somebody has epilepsy, just because they have epilepsy, it doesn't mean they're going to have a seizure right now. It just means that they might be prone to having a seizure, maybe under certain circumstances. So I think it's important to talk to the person and say, really, how bad is it? What kind of seizures do you have? Because there are all different types of seizures. Not everybody has the full tonic-clonic seizures where they fall to the ground and they jerk or they shake and they lose consciousness. You've also got absence seizures. There are different types of seizures. So branding everybody with the same brush is the wrong thing to do. The thing is, most people with epilepsy are actually very ordinary.